Alright, I'm back on the other side of the Dealey Plaza now because I want to talk about Jack Ruby. The Warren Commission went to great pains to try to paint a picture that Jack Ruby was just some distraught nightclub owner that wanted to spare Jackie Kennedy any grief, have come back to Dallas for a trial, and he was so distraught that he took justice into his own hands and killed Lee Harvey Oswald. Of course, that completely counters the narrative that we heard from Beverly Oliver that Jack Ruby and Oswald knew each other, hung out at the Carousel Club. She knew that person. She knew that firsthand because she ate at the same table with him, along with Officer Tippett and both Whites, Geneva and Roscoe, and David Ferry. I mean, the whole den of thieves, basically. And so the Warren Commission wanted to tell a story that during the assassination, Ruby was so unconnected to anything. He wasn't watching it. He wasn't involved in any way, shape, form. He was down this street. We're on Commerce Street here, right where that bus is turning. You go down that street a little ways, and the Dallas Morning News headquarters are down there, and they said that's where he was. And he was buying an ad for the newspaper. Well, it turns out that's not where he was, because we found out as a result of an FBI informant named Bob Vanderslice that he was actually with Jack Ruby at this building, which is the old Postal Annex Building, and it is 207 South Houston. So it's right catty corner from the courthouse where we started our day today. So it's right on the periphery of Dealey Plaza. I'm going to turn a full circle here, and you can see, boom, there's Dealey Plaza. And according to Bob Vanderslice, Ruby had called him. Ruby didn't know Bob Vanderslice was an FBI informant, that they had a relationship. They were kind of friends, and at least Ruby thought they were. And according to Vanderslice, Ruby had called him in the morning, on that morning. And this is testimony that he gave in 1977, so this is 14 years later. And he said that, quote, on the morning of the assassination, Ruby contacted me and asked if I would go with him and go watch the fireworks. Of course, I didn't know what that meant, and Ruby didn't expound on it, but he was talking about going and watching the motorcade. And so Vanderslice said yes, and he came with Ruby and stood right here on the corner of the Postal Annex Building facing the Texas School Book Depository and the grassy knoll. I'm standing right where he was standing. You can see what a good vantage point this is. Ruby and Vanderslice are watching from a distance, a safe distance where Ruby can't be ID'd by any witnesses in the crowd right there on site. He's essentially a block away, watching across the infield grass, and right where you see the car going past right now, that's about the kill zone. That's about right where JFK was shot. So if you're standing here, you get a good eyeball or good eye. You have good eyesight to see that. It's right in your line of vision. He said that after the shots and after the events, Ruby turned and left silently, didn't say anything to Vanderslice, and turned, walked up this sidewalk, crossed the street, up Commerce, and went to the Dallas Morning News to buy his ad. But in '77, we found out, and using the verbiage that Jack Ruby used when we go watch the fireworks, it sounds very suspicious that Jack Ruby knew in advance something was fixing to go down, and he wanted a catbird seat to see it from a distance, a safe distance where he couldn't be identified as being. And he took his friend with him, and together they watched the goings-on at Dealey Plaza, the assassination of JFK. That's where Jack Ruby was, not what the Warren Commission said down at the Dallas Morning News. Again, they fudged the details just ever so slightly. He was at the Dallas Morning News later. They said he was there during. That's a big difference.